Hello everyone, welcome to our live analysis like every Wednesday. So as usual, going through what happened over the week, what you should, where you should pay attention, and what are expected there to be very volatile events over the following days, and go through um, the charts and try to do some technical and fundamental analysis together. So. Just a second to double check whether you can hear me loud and clear. As far as I can see, we are live in all our social media, including GoToWebinar. So welcome everyone. For just to inform once again the people that have joined us via GoToWebinar. We are also live, if you prefer. We are also live in YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So just for you to have in mind. Nonetheless, everything looks normal. Hi Oratal, hi Edward, welcome. Guys, if there is any audio or visual issue, please let me know as soon as possible. Um, as I usually ask you a quick confirmation. So let's do it. What happened so far? Um, where we are seeing the market, we are seeing the market performing, and so on and so forth. So actually, before we start, just let me go through a bit what's going on right now. As we inform you about our articles, social media, and etc. Uh, the highlight of the week, other than the economic data, obviously, is the ECB conference forum, and this is because all the major central bankers participate in this forum in Sintra, and you understand that any remarks, any comments, any signals that we get from their announcement, from their comments, will be key for the following, at least for the two following meetings of each of these central banks. So today we have all of them. Actually, they are already on their feet since half an hour ago. I have the Bloomberg TV, but right now it doesn't show any um, feedback from Sintra. But all of them are gonna speak. Is Ms. Lagarde, is Bank of England Governor Bailey, is Bank of Japan Governor Ueda, Fed Chair Powell, and Lagarde will also speak again in actually in an hour from now. So she was already on, and she's gonna have another speech scheduled for 3 o'clock, for in an hour basically. So all I'm emphasizing the importance of ECB forum in Sintra because this is these Fed speeches, ECB speeches, etc., are giving us signs in regards to the next central bank's meetings. So, for example, yesterday it was Ms. Lagarde with other ECB members such as Hazak, both really strongly supported the further aggressive tightening policy for ECB. So that actually increased the odds that for July's ECB meeting and for another rate hike from ECB. And so far today, we have a lot of members from ECB already proceeded with some comments either in Sintra actually. So it was actually if I'm not mistaken, it was Guido so far. So far today, it was again Ms. Lagarde, it was Centeno as well. Who else? I think that's what I noticed so far. Yeah, it was those three along with Miss Lagarde and all of the members, all of the ECB members that spoke so far this week. They pretty much, other than confirming, we could say that the in July meeting we're gonna see another increase in interest rates. They also push back, well back, the possibility, push back actually the um, um, the easing of the policy, the rate cuts from ECB. So it was well pushed back for 2024, so next year. And now any more comments could keep us informed whether the any potential rate cut could occur within the first 2 quarters or whether it will take place in the second half of next year. So yes, the only one that sounded a bit dovish was Centeno, that is Portugal's central bank head, stating and warning that the economy is already taking a hit. So all these hikes they were gonna impact significantly. They're gonna impact significantly, and he said that we are not seeing the full impact of all these all these hikes that the central banks have proceeded to so far this year. Not only this year, nearly all the central banks, the major ones, Fed, all of them, is the rate hike started since last year, so it's more than a year now, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he warned that we haven't seen the full effect of hikes yet, and that's basically pessimistic comment. Um, Even though he supported that the ECB is getting closer to terminal rate. So all these guys have held, sorry, show the have held euro dollar obviously a bit sideways. So a lot of comments from Sintra, keeping, as you can see, the markets sideways, the currency market sideways. Um, so yeah, keep an eye on the comments from Sintra. They're very important, because in combination with data, they could um, they could give us a clear outlook for each bank separately. Because as I said, all of them participate. Bank of Japan, nearly all of them. Bank of Japan, Fed, ECB, Bank of England. So at least we might get a clear picture for each of one of these banks for July and September. August is a break. There are no meetings. There are no meetings taking place in August. So we're gonna have a clearer view at least for July and August. With the markets, by the way, already, as you know, pricing in some pricing in the July's rate hikes for Fed and for ECB and for Bank of England. So those three are in the top of the list. So before I go through your questions, guys, this is your session, as I keep saying. So please ask anything you want. The only one that put a comment, it was Amireza with Nasdaq, and you did very well because the the most important asset, if I had to choose another asset class today, and yesterday, actually this week so far, it will have been the stocks. The stocks. Okay. Um, so Anas Masood, I'm a profitable trader and I want to join a group of traders in order to exchange ideas. There are many groups that you can join either in Telegram or the forums that there are in our platform. So yeah, in general, social media is a place where you can exchange ideas, views, and etc. But always stick on what you see, not what other people are thinking and what they are saying, right? So, okay, before I get back to Amireza and his Nasdaq analysis, just because we had significant moves this week from stock market in general, global stock market. Before I go through, however, the fundamentals uh, of equity market, just a quick update on what we have seen so far in regards the um, uh, to the data, so far data. As you know, we had Australian inflation this morning, and Canadian inflation as well yesterday afternoon. So we have seen just quickly. I will go through the Canadian cross, the dollar cat, which has been in a rally since yesterday. Since yesterday, to be more precise, you can see a nice rebound from dollar cut. This is dollar cut in 1 hour chart. I'll get back to you guys in regards to a community group uh, for exchanging ideas. I will get back to you. Just I would like to cross check with our team here, and I will provide you links for you to join and etc. So, okay, just give me give me some time. I will get back to you before the end of the session. Okay. So, what I wanted to sorry, yeah. So we were speaking about Canadian inflation and Australian inflation. Yes, this is what I wanted to brief you up with. If you have just joined, you just wake up. I don't know where you are placed in the world. I've seen Kenya, which we have the same time zone. So you wake up as early as I did, I guess. So yeah, so Canadian inflation last night actually gave a breath, we could say, to the Bank of Canada members, to the Bank of Canada, because we have seen an easing a bit, cooling a bit, slightly, but that's a positive. That's definitely a positive. Sign, and this is something that supported the or increased the odds that the Bank of England, the Bank of Canada, sorry, the Bank of Canada could consider moving sideways on the next meeting in July. The next meeting in July for Canada, Bank of Canada, is on the 12th. Okay, so considering that the Canadian inflation yesterday came out at 3.4% in May, cooling down a bit. This is the weakest number that we got since June 2021. Okay, June 2021. So these, along we could say with the core numbers, with the labor market from Canada, it's something that supports the doves in Bank of Canada, and it might allow, if by the 12th of July we keep having um, signs that the inflation is cooling down, we might see the Bank of Canada getting back to the pause stance, pausing, moving sideways, keeping rates unchanged. Okay, have this in mind. In the meantime, you can see that the fact that Canadian inflation cooled, rebounded dollar cut. So this actually it has an opposite impact on the Canadian dollar, because it brings back the quantitative easing policy. Okay, remember that markets are ahead of themselves. So if So the Canadian inflation actually increased, as I said, the odds that the Bank of Canada will pause again next in the next meeting. So that's adding pressure on the Canadian dollar against US dollar because it's all about yield differentials, right? It's Fed against Bank of Canada. It's Canadian Canadian economy against US economy. It's Canadian inflation against US inflation. Is the prospect that the Bank of Canada could pause keeps to keep its policy sidelined then in July, while the Fed expected to increase interest rates high. Okay, that's why we have seen dollar CAD moving higher, as you can see over here, bouncing, breaching 132.30 territory, just a breath below the second resistance of the day, with small body candles indicating that there is not a lot of momentum to keep moving higher. However, technical indicators remain above neutral zone, indicating that the intraday momentum remains positive and supports this rally that we have seen in dollar CAD since yesterday. Okay, so the next resistance area for the asset remains the 132.40 and the 132.90 area. So the second resistance and the third resistance of the day. However, um, for the time being, the highs of 132, it's something that it could be tested only if we see a decisive resumption of this rally. So we need a decisive boost of the dollar CAD to break the immediate resistance, which is the latest high at 133, 32.30, and then 132.40 territory. Then if that breaks, we could see the asset retesting initially last week's highs at 32.68 or even the third resistance of the day. So that was for dollar CAD. Now, if you don't want anything in regards to the currency assets, I will move on to stocks because we had plenty of news overnight and overall this week from equity markets in general. So I would like to reply. Would like to reply to Amireza comment and his request for Nasdaq, analyzing Nasdaq. Guys, once again, I cannot see a lot of comments or questions. So this is your session, as I keep saying. Please feel free to ask anything you want. I will try to go through both fundamentals and technicals for the asset that you want me to analyze. So Nasdaq. Second. Okay, so I'll start with the daily chart because I want to show you this rebound that we had yesterday. So yesterday was a positive, sorry, a positive session for equity markets, for global equity markets. Actually, not only the U.S. indices, European indices as well. Asia indices as well, some of the Asia indices to be more precise. So that's why we have seen some support in general into the stock market. Reasons that supported actually the Wall Street, the Asia session this morning, the European session as well. Give me a second, Peter. So uh, are the economic data initially. So remember, yesterday we had durable goods and consumer confidence from United States. Okay, along with many, it was Richmond Fed, it was home sales, We had corporate bond update as well. So data, however, and more precisely, durable goods and consumer confidence, in combination with a bit in new home sales, supported the stock market. And we have already briefed you up about this morning with our market briefing, the article that we keep posting every morning in our website and in our social media. So the fact that durable goods, consumer confidence, new home sales, bid estimates, okay, sorry, and more precisely, consumer confidence spiked to 1097. Let me put the 1 hour trailing dollar index because I want you to see this boost. This boost, a significant rebound that we got. It was during it was after, sorry, the data releases. So, other than the job that we have in new home sales, okay, was the best since February 2022, since last year, since more than a year, the best in the last 2 years' time, we could say. Other than that, however, we had consumer confidence as well, which breached 1097. Okay, 1097. So this is once again um, uh, it breached last year's highs. So it seems that the confidence this confidence measure that the conference board monitors um, has exited a bit the weakest levels that we have seen the last 3 years, and it presents that there is a boost, there is a pop in the consumer confidence in combination with Michigan sentiment, in combination with the new home sales jump, in combination with durable goods. So yesterday's data from the US pretty much showed that the economic data remain resilience. Uh, the US economy remain resilience uh, of, of the high interest rate environment. Okay, it looks that all these positive, optimistic economic data highlighted that how highlighted how resilient the U.S. economy is, regardless of the higher interest rate environment. If we are in a period of really, really high aggressive tightening, really high interest rates environment, this tends to impact the economic data downwards. Corporate sector as well. So this economic data showed something different. That's why we have seen the U.S. futures supported yesterday and today. Even though we had some reversals, you can see some correction. It held the most of the major indices, if not all. They today, after a slight pullback, they supported or they hold the gains that we have seen yesterday. Um, so one example is Nasdaq, like like Amireza wanted me to analyze. So we had a bit of a pullback, but it has held above 15,000 territory. Sorry for that. Give me a second. Where can I be following the fundamental analysis? Arinora, fundamental analysis, you can find a fundamental analysis in many, many websites. social media, and etc. So you need to choose which channel you prefer. So you can keep an eye on our economic calendar just to be aware when each event, announcement, data release takes place. So economic, you should always every morning you should keep an eye on what's expected to be released or announced within the day. Okay, that's the very first thing. Um, Also, uh, why not having keeping an eye on analysis page on our analysis page, and more precisely the market news tab, which is updated every minute. Is We are taking different sources, and this is updated instantly actually. So if you check right now, let me share it with you. So Arinola is asking, where can I follow the fundamental analysis? Fundamental analysis is pretty much any news, any release, anything about politics. So politics is not only about markets. Markets are affected from many factors, as we already know. Oil has been affected by geopolitics, other than inflation, economic outlooks, etc. Let me just share with you just a second. So this is our analysis page. Other than the articles that we keep posting every day, the second tab is market news. Okay. So over here, guys, you can see that um, uh, it's a continuous articles either taken. So that one is from Wells Fargo. The very next one was the mortgage application release. This one was about Aussie dollar. So it's instantly from different sources. So Commerce Bank Research, where is that taken from? Might be Reuters. So constantly it's been updated and updated based on what is happening um, into the market. Okay, so this will keep you up to date, along with our analysis page, along with our economic calendar. And before I go through your questions, this is the economic calendar as well. Okay, so these are websites and pages that you can use for keeping yourself up to date. But I would like also, before I close this subject, in regards to Arinola question, I would like also to remind you the Advanced Insights. Okay, Advanced Insight is a tool that we offer for free under some terms and conditions, obviously, and is presenting other. It gives you it keeps you informed about volatility per asset. Okay, sentiment per asset as well. And it has also, if you enable it in your HF area, it gives you a detailed timeline with all the events and some advanced market insights along with news. There is an artificial intelligence process that is being used from this tool. This tool is using actually artificial intelligence, and it processes millions of articles every minute, and this is where it based its sentiment and volatility analysis. Okay, so have a look. Very useful. This is how it looks like. Okay, I cannot spend time now presenting you in detail the advanced insights, but yeah, if you need to keep yourself up to date and you need just a solo tool, this might be the one for you, because all the volatility and sentiment analysis per asset is based on the on analyzing news article all over the world. Okay, so it's a real-time volatility analysis. Okay, so just to close this bracket, and let's get back to our questions. It was about Nasdaq. It was about stocks in general. So as I said, U.S. economic data helped significantly yesterday the Wall Street. U.S. Indices, the Wall Street main indices, but also we had a lot of news that supported some sectors in the market. So, for example, and this is remember that Nasdaq is a tech heavy stock. So its companies, the majority of its companies is tech related share. So any news from the tech sector affects Nasdaq, dear Amirami. So yesterday, Nasdaq was well supported, not solely by the economic data, but also from the boost that we have seen from Tesla, from Nvidia, Amazon. That was what happened yesterday. I'm just highlighting some of the moves that we have seen yesterday. So some of the biggest tech companies have gained more than 2.2% yesterday, and that supported even more the impact from the economic data yesterday. Uh, um, However, I will say, I think we have stick it on the Telegram channel this morning as well, if I'm not mistaken. By the way, Marco, our market analyst, has posted an article about Nvidia earlier, so very helpful. Please keep an eye on it. It's very informative and it will help you with if you are a stock trader or a stock investor. So keep an eye on have a look actually in the Nvidia article posted earlier. So other factors that supported in general the US, the Wall Street session yesterday, it was also some positive, optimistic news, mainly from the tourism sector and more precisely the airline sector. So United Airlines, American Airlines, Delta, they all rallied significantly, more than 5% yesterday. They presented a very sustained travel demand, so very optimistic very optimistic sentiment for the travel sector. Um, um, Yesterday. However, the other sector that moved on the completely different direction, downside, it was the pharmaceutical sector with Regeneron declined by nearly 9% after a rejection of a particular treatment that it was submitted to the Food and Drug Administration. Wall Street also more than 9% decline yesterday. But let's bring it back to today's session. We have some important pre-market, after hours moves. Something that we also sent a push for earlier this morning. It was Nvidia again. So after hours, it moved on a completely different direction and it moved lower. Nvidia, AMD, and this has to do with the US banning some exporting artificial intelligence chips to China. So that added pressure to the tech-related companies and more precisely to the chip maker companies. As I said, this decline in Nvidia and AMD it's after hours, so it will be very, very interesting to see how the US market, how these companies will open soon, actually in less than 2 hours from now. So as Marco sent me earlier, sent to today, I posted earlier, um, um, Nvidia, despite this banning, Nvidia remains, actually holds a pretty strong, it presents a pretty strong outlook overall. Artificial intelligence, tech in general remains the future. There's for the current, for the future, and any project, um, um, uh, any it's actually opened a lot of projects that have to do with artificial intelligence, and this is why Nvidia's outlook remains very optimistic in the long term, and is the very first chip company entering the 1 trillion club. Let's not forget that. Okay, more than 187%, as Marco stated over here, 187% increase in its share price year to date. 187% in rally year to date for its stock price. So fundamental regarding of what happened with US banning yesterday, fundamentals for the company, its financial reports, its projects, all these support that Nvidia will grow over the years. Okay, very positive. Just for you to be aware. What else? So now, okay, dear Amira, basically, stock markets for the day remain positive. You can see, for example, Nasdaq that is supported, is holding most of the gains that we have seen yesterday. Is holding above the 15,000 level, key level, round number, 000 number. So it remains above it. So all this positive sentiment that we have seen yesterday is being well supported. Okay, it seems that so far the comments from Sintra haven't managed to add pressure or to shift the sentiment for stock market, and not only for Nasdaq or US indices. I'm referring to European stock markets as well, and so on and so forth. So maybe it's the lack of any economic data as well. So combination with in combination with what we have seen so far is it looks that it's still a good day once again for the time being so far for equities. So the fact that it holds gains is, along with the intraday positive momentum that remains above, it remains in the positive territory. As you can see, RSI retested 50, but it rose above it. So there is still positive sentiment, even though this looks like a pennant to me. Sorry, this looks like a pennant. Oh, let me just be precise. It looks like a pennant. So we need to keep an eye intraday on this formation and whether it will manage to break the 1900, 1500 level here, because this will indicate that the rally will continue to the upside. That will have this breakout higher above 15100. It could open the doors to the 200-day moving average, period moving average, or even back to last week's highs and the 15,200 territory for Nasdaq. So intraday, is remains positive as long as the asset, as long we don't see the asset moving below 15,1019 and the 1500s territory. However, we need a confirmation. So a confirmation will be a confirmation to continue to the upside will be the breakout of 15,100 level, or if you need an even tighter resistance territory, it will be the recent high at 15086. Okay. Sorry, let me get back to your questions. I was trying to. I'm still at university now, and it's been a long time since I saw the trade. And I did my small account of $20 and managed to withdraw from 15 to 20 per week. But very good mentality to start with, from very good mentality, very good thinking. I was thinking to. Uh, I'm sure I can do that and make a very good profit. Can you help me where I can get funded? I cannot help you find the funds, to be honest. I'm not allowed to do that. But what I can tell you from what I see from you, I mean, what you just stated, um, uh, even the fact that you started slowly with a small account, just $20, and trying to benefit a bit every week, try to benefit small gains every week. That gives me the impression that you have the appropriate mindset. Okay, appropriate mindset. Small gains, slowly, in order to achieve and to grow eventually your account. So you definitely have a good mindset. If you want to try with a bigger balance, or as you just stated, then be careful to keep the same mindset. What I mean by that, same risk management, slowly, not too aggressive, not far away stop loss or no stop loss that could blow out your account. Keep consistent with your plan, with what you have following your smaller account so far. So I don't know. I guess you have some kind of percentage setups. I mean, you said that you have withdraw 15 to $20 every week. So this gives me the impression that you have a particular goal every week. 4%, 5% gains. That's your goal. That's your risk and reward ratio every week. So keep that constant, because this will keep your risk management in place without getting away from this path. So if you want to invest more, uh, go for it, but keep what you have done in your small account, any risk management that you have set up in your small account, anything that you have done in your small account, try to keep the same in. You want to try uh, trading with more balance. So yeah, risk management, keep your risk and reward constant, and I wish you the best of luck. But from your comment, I can see that you have the proper mindset. Even the fact that you have tried to learn by starting with this really small account, it shows me that you're very patient. You're not a gambler, basically. Of course, you need to try your own setup and all. What I show you is my setup, or over the years, a setup that we have established based on what the people tend to ask from us. doesn't mean that it will work for you, right? Each one of you is a different kind of trader. There are, there are people that are swing traders, trend traders, day traders, spread traders. So that's why you need to keep yourself constantly learning, see new indicators, see new setups, trying a demo account, different kind of trading until you find the one that you understand the most and the one that works for you. Because if you try to be a swing trader, example, and you follow a swing strategy, particular one, I don't know, you might have seen in the forum, and the people there were very convincing. You try it in a demo account, but you keep losing and losing and losing. That means that's not working for you. Something is wrong. You either don't use it properly, or it's just not for you. We cannot understand everything, right? There are indicators that honestly I am struggling with it. No, I want something. I want when I see my charts on spot to understand what the indicators are showing, are presenting to me, indicating. Uh, if an indicator is too complex for me, and it takes me time until I identify what it signals, then it's not for me. You need to find the one. Even you might not be a person that likes indicators. You might prefer uh, the so-called naked charts. You might be a person um, that just wants and prefers and understands most what the candles uh, are presenting. Why not? I loved a lot of traders like that. A long of trades that they just emphasize on understanding candles. Okay, so yeah, you need to test yourself in the demo account, and until you identify a setup for you. I'm very consistent on trading, losing constantly. I hope in a demo account, Zoran. I hope that's in a demo account at least until you figure out what works for you. Stephen, yes, I think you can start with $5. Uh, please have a look on our accounts page just to spot the one that allows $5 minimum deposit. But as far as I remember, yes, you can. Zora, I don't know what setup you have. I don't know what kind of trader you are, but something needs to change. Or you might do everything correct, but you are losing because you have too high risk and reward ratio. You, it depends. I don't know what you're doing. I cannot really tell until you show me something. But yes, you need to reconsider everything. You need to reconsider your setup. You need to reconsider even the time frame that you're trading. You need to reconsider your risk and reward ratio. You need to reconsider your money management. Something is wrong, my dear. Something is wrong. Something is wrong because it's okay losing, but if we're constantly losing, then something is wrong. Obviously, you need to accept losses because we cannot be always right. Something might bite and comes out and say something, or I don't know, Powell, or I don't know, Elon Musk, and something, it could shake the market and kick our stop loss. But if that's if we keep losing constantly, then definitely something that we do it wrong. Okay. Because what matters is at the end of the day, or the end of the week, the end of the month, by summing up our losses and gains to be on profit, or at least break even if it wasn't a good week for us, or if the market was too volatile, too unpredictable. This is what matters, okay? Can you explain? Wait a minute. Can you please look at Aussie? Yes, of course. Aussie, Australian dollar, and Kiwi, in general, the antipodians were the biggest, two of the biggest movers today. Just It's not an earthquake, but you have seen it was Marco
That's
shaking the desk.
sorry.
No earthquake, I'm good. So, okay, New Zealand, Kiwi, and Australian dollar. I will cover both volatile because they have been two of the biggest gainers against, two of the biggest losers today against US dollar. And that, I'm afraid, is due to the Australian inflation and the prospect that RBA is near to its end of its tightening. So let's start with Aussie and I will get back to Kiwi, even though Kiwi was affected more from Australian inflation. So yes, Australian inflation, it was something we have seen overnight, and actually sorry, I'm losing a bit my words. So Australian inflation came this morning. I'm not sure whether there's anything new in regards to that perspective, but it is a bit as well, similar to Canadian inflation, cooled down a bit, indicating that indicating that RBA could actually increasing the odds, the prospect of a pause in interest rate hikes from the RBA. RBA raised interest rates 12 times uh, so far. I mean, so yeah, the fact that inflation cooled at a faster pace than what was expected is something that increased the prospect of a pause, and you know that markets are ahead of themselves, so it started um, pricing in this scenario. And that's why we have seen antipodian currencies, Aussie and Kiwi, extending lower against the US dollar. And this actually performance, this pressure continues so far today as we're moving into closer and closer to the US Open. So you can see also over here resuming its resuming its decline, consolidated significantly in the European Open, but you have seen that it just broken this immediate floor that we have seen in the European Open, broken it, so broke that imminent stop, that imminent support at 0.6630, extended lower, ready to retest the low of the day at not 66.17, with all the indicators, intraday indicators, um, keep this pessimistic negative bias, increasing negative bias. So it looks like more and more sellers are joining the antipodians as we move in closer um, to the US Open. So 66.17 there is the next support level for Aussie. While if it breaks, sorry, actually it's very close to the third support of the day. So this resumption over here could open the doors to 66.11. So not only breaking the low of the day, but actually retesting. Oh, actually, it's a stronger support level there, as you can see over here. Let me just the Bollingers. Okay, other than this candle that has broken the European, the support that we have seen in the European session, the fact that Bollingers are keep expanding lower, moving averages, they start pointing further to the downside. You see 5 and 9 exponential moving average. MACD keep moving lower and lower away from zero. RSI, can you see that it turned down again? Stochastic, the same. So the combination of all these turns the attention not to the low of the day, but actually to the third support of the day. Third support of the day at 66.10, just to be precise, 66.10, coincides with our lower Bollinger. So this is the this is where uh, this is where it could be retested within the day. If that breaks, the next floor for the next support for Aussie, okay, very, very interesting. So it broke already the 61% Fibonacci level from this upper leg that we have seen in May. Yeah, very interesting. Let me just check something there. Just a second, give me a second, please. I'm trying to find the next support levels if the 6610 breaks today. So the next area to be seen other than the 66 level. Actually, for all traders that are intraday traders, 6610 and the round 66 number are the next key support levels to be closely monitored. Especially this is because especially after all this selling pressure that we have seen today, and considering that Aussie has been in a sharp decline since the beginning of June, so it's looking like it's in a free fall. So a break of 66.10 will open the doors to April's bottom 65.70 and to the 100 Fibonacci extension at 65, 40, 40 to 37. So this area between the 100 Fibonacci level and the daily Bollinger Band. Okay? Hopefully this helps you there. And I did wrong because you said 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart, and 30 minutes chart. So, okay. 30 minutes chart. Nice, decisive, bearish candle with small tails, so sellers are in control. So it's the same thing as I said earlier. The third support of the day, so 66.10, and the round 66 level. The round 66 level somewhere here. So if we consider, I'll put the 15 minutes chart just for you to see that all the moving average, Bollingers as well, they expanding lower, they pointing lower. Momentum indicators even in the 15 and 30 minute chart are negative and increasingly negative. So sellers are still in control. Okay? Hello from Philippines. Hello, hello, hello. Gold. Of course, gold to answer the guys, in regards to the Aussie, the same mentality stands for Kiwi as well, by the way. Kiwi, I think it was a bigger loser today than, by the way, than Aussie. Just, just a quick reminder. You see, this is the daily candle. Let me clear a bit this mess. My clear daily setup. This is my daily setup. Can you see how big this candle is? Massive selling. Anti-podiums, and oh my god, what's going on today? Marco's shaking the desk. People are switch on and switch off the lights. So yes, big sell-off. Anyway, anti-podiums have been to the downside since the beginning of the month. Um, Yes. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's not a good day, it seems. So, okay. Yes, Kiwi has been a biggest loser so far today. You can see how aggressive this candle is. Massive. I'm doing this comment because it will be very, very interesting to see how it will close the session tonight. The daily candle, how the daily candle will close. It's been to the downside since the beginning of the month. Okay, you see sharp decline, and today it managed not solely. It's not only the fact that it's posting a pretty big bearish candle. It's also the fact that it has broken uh, well below the 20-day moving average, opening the doors to the bottom of to the May's bottom. Okay, so keep an eye on Kiwi, not only intraday, which you can see that is one way. I don't need to show anything to you guys. Look at this, boom. Keep extending. No indication of a support anytime soon. But yes, very, very interesting to see how that candle will close because it's massive. Now, gold. Someone asked about gold. Okay, so gold also, okay, the least in volatility, is not so volatile. The volumes actually, the trading volume in gold, uh, the last 2 weeks has been a bit lower than usual. Okay, but uh, remains under pressure, keeps posting slowly, correcting slowly with new lower lows. So as if I just zoom in a bit, you can see that it broken Friday's bottom and Friday's late low fractal. Let me just put my daily setup. Sorry for that. Okay, you can see that it has broken Friday's bottom, extending lower, posting another low, fresh low at 1905 today. Momentum remains overall negative. We have a clear down leg, down leg since the beginning of May. And as I know I'm repeating myself, but it's very important because it's something that we discussed uh, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, don't remember. I remember, however, that I mentioned that I think it was the time that it was hovering around 50% retracement level. We said that if this breaks, it means that it will retest the 61, obviously, but also the around 1900 psychological level. So momentum remains negative, very correlated with hedging inflation, with central banks, with interest rates. So the fact that the banks are getting back to tightness again is something that is negative for gold. Moves according with the fundamentals. Um, Supported a bit yesterday temporarily on the US data, but I'm afraid it's central banks that lead the gold and all these hawkish comments so far from ECB. And we're going to have Mr. Powell speaking soon. All this hawkish, along with the scenarios of not only one but actually two interest rate hikes from Fed and from ECB is what it keep pushing gold lower. Okay, so now where we are standing, now we're standing below the 61% Fibonacci level from the rally that we have seen in February. Okay, below it, it was broken. It was retested twice. broken today, extended below it. Momentum remains well below zero, and there is an increasing bearish bias. So the next floor for day traders, it will be the 1900s. Round number key psychological level, which is not far away from it, by the way. A break of that level could open the door to, I would like the exponential, to be honest, is providing some better support, immediate, imminent support for, you can see that 1900s is very, very close to 200-day moving average. So this is the area, this is the area that you need to keep an eye on. This area between 200 exponential moving average in the daily chart and then 1900. So this is actually 1894 and 1900s. The ask gold could retest this area, but what matters, what is very, very important to see whether it will manage to break it. Because if it managed to break it, it could be a free fall down to March, February, end February lows. So that will open the doors to 1860 to 1830 and to the bottom 1805. If and only if we see this precious metal breaking the 200-day moving average. Okay, intraday now for gold. Let's put that our intraday setup. You see, remain held at below its pivot for the whole day, extended to the very first support of the day. All moving average, all momentum indicators are negative. MACD is keep increasingly lower. Oversold, however, or stochastic over here and RSI over here present that they are oversold. Okay, can you see that? Oversold. And intraday, we might see a bit of a consolidation above the first support of the day or a slight rebound. Because you see, stochastic posted a bullish cross. So with that an indication that it might hover around this area for the next few minutes, hour, before another attempt to the upside. Okay? So it looks like this decline has faded for now. So it needs a bit of a correction. It's not an indication of a rebound yet, I'm afraid. MACD is aggressively negative. RSI is flat. Moving average are also flat. They point on the right hand side, so that's a hint of indication. Stochastic posted a bullish cross, but is still not pointing higher. You getting what I mean? So there is no indication that they will rebound intraday. There is only indication of some consolidation that it will stay up close to the first support of the day for the next few sessions, minutes, etc. Next question. Next question. Hello from Nigeria. Hello from Kenya. From Osogdo. Buy Nasdaq. Siki is buying. Zizo is buying Nasdaq. Where's Nasdaq? Let me get back to Nasdaq. Which time frame, out of curiosity, you are? Zizo. So, mm, mm, mm. Intraday, as I said, as long as it doesn't breach and breaks the high of the day, the 15086 or at least the 1500, it remains sideways for the time being based on the 30 minutes and 1 hour chart. You can see that even the Bollingers have flattened. However, I would agree that there is a positive outlook in the long term. But I'm not convinced yet because this was a sharp correction. So we need to see, actually, yes, overall, Zizo, if you are referring to a long term or a medium term time frame, yes, Nasdaq remains positive. You can see how massive this MACD is, very positive. It shows a bit of a decrease in the positive bias, but it remains in line with the rally that we have seen the last 1, 2, 3 months. 3 months to the upside, more than 3 months, but after the sideways movement, it has been within an up channel for 3 months there. So, yeah, remains positive. Next question. What do you mean live trade? Me going live, I cannot do that based on the regulator, I'm afraid. Okay? I cannot place positions for you to see what am I doing. I'm afraid I cannot legally, I cannot do that because this will mean that I will affect your, uh, I will affect your trading. Okay, so it needs to be solely a decision based on your setup, on your mentality, and your knowledge, on your risk, on your money management. So yeah, I cannot do that. I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Yes, it's all about the central banks there. So a lot of comments from Sintra. That's the reason for that. But a lot of volatility is expected as soon as the U.S. market opens, especially in stocks. Okay.
That's interesting.
I would love to get a friend to analyze this to me. This is what we're doing over here, dear. Pablo, me and Marco, analyzing the market and trying to help you as much as we can. So consider us your friends. Dollar yen, yes, of course. Broken once again, 144 level, retesting 144 level. Nice catch, Zibusi. So the last hour, not solely, last 2 hours, not solely broken, breached 144, but actually is extending above it, 144.35 for the time being. So it's back to September and October high area. It has already posted more than 60% reversal, is it? Yeah, more than 60% reversal. And it had opened the doors to September and October highs. So the next resistance area, the next ceiling for dollar yen, if based on this rally that we have seen since April, will be the, just zoom out, sorry, trying to show you, will be the 145 to 145.25 territory. This is because it's a round number, but also it used to be, let me just, I need to put the weekly chart for you to see why I put these lines on. So I put these lines on because they were our previous daily, weekly up fractals. I cannot clearly show it, but yes, 145 and 145.20 key ceiling for dollar yen, but there is an increasing positive bias in the medium term, intraday as well. So for all the intraday traders, just let me help you with imminent support and resistance levels. So here we are, guys. Fibonacci extension. So the next level resistance intraday, it will be the 144.70 if and only if the asset breach and breaks the 100 Fibonacci extension at 144.36. If that candle closes above it, or the next one closes above it, then attention turns to 144.70 for the day. Okay, momentum keeps moving high, positively configured. That RSI, as you can see, it's pointing higher. if I put my intraday setup, same positive signals again, rising moving averages, expanding Bollingers, rising RSI, rising stochastic, and you see that there is still further room to the upside from stochastic as well, rising MACD, everything in line with further boost for dollar yen. Just a quick reminder at this point that the yen weakness against the dollar, it was also due to the comments from Japan in regards to extending the term of its top currency official for another year, and also the comments about potential intervention as well. Yeah. What am I missing? Uh, yeah, so that was mainly it's a risk sensitive asset, it's a safe haven. Don't forget that it's a safe haven. So yeah, keeps moving higher. 144 was another important level which has been broken, so it pretty much keeps the attention further higher to the September October 2022 highs. Next question. Support, by the way, just to close this, the immediate support is at 144.10, and the pivot point of the day 143.85. Okay, and if you put for intraday traders, okay, you use your Fibonacci just on the rally of the day, you can see that. Let me zoom in. You can see that. Okay, you are a 15 minutes trader or something. Immediate support levels will be the 144.20 and the 144.10, as I said earlier. Just out of curiosity, let me just inverted the Fibonacci just to make sure that it gives us, whether it gives us further resistance areas. Yes, it does. So 144.50, 144.77, and 70. We mentioned that already with the Fibonacci extension earlier. Okay, so let's move on with further questions. We are already more than an hour live. Hi, following you from South Africa. I'm glad to hear it. If you're close to Santon, don't hesitate to visit our premises as well. Live trade today, Pablo. I am doing a live analysis today. We have covered gold, pound yen, 1 hour and 4 hour. Of course, one of the most volatile. I think it's the number one most volatile asset in the world. Oh god, that's pound. That's cable, by the way, guys. That's not pound yen. That's cable. And look at this beauty. Broken triple fractal, just broken in this 4 hour session. This is a 4 hour session. Breach the 126.47, and this actually opened the door to just so it's already extended. Okay, let me just okay. That's very interesting. This is cable. This is not pound yen, but I've seen this massive selling over here in cable, breaking the last week's support, extending to 126.47, and actually opening the doors to the confluence of a 161 Fibonacci extension and the 200 exponential moving average. This is for cable. I'll put cable pound yen as well because I guess this is something similar with it. Oh, we had a more muted, yeah, because it's against yen, so a more muted reaction. So it's in a channel well supported from from this channel. I will delete the Bollingers just to make it clearer. You can see that it's been moving within a channel. This is a 4 hour chart, pound yen, dear Dennis holds quite well within the channel that has been since the 19 since Monday, retesting the bottom of the channel. So now we're waiting to see whether it will manage to extend and break away from it below it and retest the 50 period moving average. So that is somewhere around 180, 150, 180, 140, also coinciding with the previous lower fractal. This is the next floor if and only if we see the asset breaking outside below the up channel that we've seen since Monday. So some consolidation is the what we have seen so far from pound yen, but very interesting to see whether it will manage to exit the Bollinger. So yeah, if that happens here, then it's next floor to be closely monitored would be the one with 140. RSI fell but hasn't crossed below 50. Okay, let's move on to the 1 hour chart. Completely reversal, broken the yesterday's 180 to 50 support, extended lower. It's already outside, already retested a move outside the channel, but it quickly turned above it. So yeah, again the same picture, Dennis. We need to see consecutive candles outside channel in order to confirm a decline down to 18170 and 101 40. So these three support levels over here, 1, 2, 3. But we need to see consecutive uh, hourly candles closing outside the channel and bearishly. So we need confirmation because if the asset fails to extend lower and it hovers around the low level of its channel, that could signal that it ran out of steam and we might see a reversal and a rebound and to sustain this move within the channel. Again, guys, depends on which time frame you're trading. There are not good or bad indicators. It's what makes sense to you. So try different setups. Oh my God, the selling over here in cable is massive. Let me see whether there are any Bank of England, any news actually from Sintra or so yeah, there are nothing from Mr. Bali yet. So this is it looks like it's purely technical. This looks to be a poor technical performance from cable. Massive sell-off, very big candles. Even if I go to the 1 hour chart, you can see that how sharp this slope is. Not indicators are not pointing that it ran out of steam yet. And as I said earlier, yeah, the next area, support area for cable after this massive 4 hour candle, that it will close in half an hour. The next floor is the 200 period moving average and the 125. Let me be precise with you guys. So 125, 126, between 126 and 125.85. Okay, next area, support area for cable. It's like a free fall. Dollar holding firmer across the board, but let me get out of this channel. Clear. Intraday momentum suggests that there is a lot of an increase in bearish bias still. It's not looking that it ran out of steam yet. I'm not sure whether there's anything else going on that I have missed, but I cannot see anything. I mean, it's particularly for cable. So I guess this is just a poor technical sell-off. Don't forget that this is the end of this week. Is we have the end of the month and the end of the quarter as well. Now let's go in regards to any withdrawal problems. Can you go to the live chat right now and speak to one of the support officers? Yeah, hi. Can you visit our past webinars website? And over there are webinars that we have presented include they are actually for day strategies. Have a look and how to set up a trading plan, of course. Have a look, try it in a demo account, the one that you like, try it, and so just something to start with. So past webinars website and search for day strategies and how to create a trading plan, trading journal. We have covered gold. We proceed within the day, Dobaba. I'm honest with that. We proceed within the day. Any delay, it might be due to the bank from your end, okay? We proceed with the withdraw, with the refund, etc. So based on where you are in the world, what kind of bank you are using, or what kind of whether you have it's via card, Visa, with a swing. Sorry, using it. What kind of sorry, I'm running out of things. How you initially deposited the money. We revert. We will be the same procedure for withdrawal. So, but anyway, just for you to know, it's better to go to our live chat on the website. Ask one of the officers there to track your withdrawal. Okay, to see whether it's is the bank that delays the withdrawal and etc. Okay. Reactivate demo account. Have you requested to be reactivated? If yes, it's something very easy. Or if you're in an emergency, open a new demo account. Guys, I have already covered gold, so okay, I will do it once again. Steve, by the way, okay, before I cover gold, Steve, I have seen your question in regards to Hastic and RSI. It doesn't make sense to have both, but I have to use them. Okay, I have to use them because we have a lot of clients that prefer a very short time frame, such as 13 and 15 minutes chart. So I am obliged to have them on my screen in order to explain them, especially for people that are trading in such a short environment, such as 15 and 30 minutes chart. Okay. Okay, if I just solely stick on those time frames, I will keep stochastic, but just give me an extra confirmation, okay? Thank you, Clement. I don't know what exactly I have said about cable, but thank you. I don't know what nevertheless, gold. Let's resume our analysis about gold. So this is a 30-minute chart. You see, you remember that I mentioned that it looks that it would consolidate a bit, and this is actually what happened. Uh, some sideways movement, holding close to the first support of the day, uh, but that looks to be just a correction. Okay, the more the hawkish comments, the more the pressure on dollar. So this to be just a correction, consolidation with still overall sellers in control of gold. Clement, please, thank you. I'm not sure why you are telling me please. I have already covered the cable. You want me to cover it again? This is what you mean. Sorry, I'm confused. Confused again. Okay, gold now. Get back to gold. Um, yeah, so what else? Yes, gold. Yeah, guys, it's what we said earlier. The low of the day was at 1905. The based on the indicators, we have seen that this decline faded a bit, so now it entered a consolidation, a bit of a correction. But as you can see from MACD, the asset remains negatively configured. So this consolidation looks like limited before another attempt to the downside, with next immediate support level intraday for gold at 1900 and 1890, actually not 1885. The next 1900s and 1885, the support levels of the day. Over, however, as I mentioned earlier, and I unfortunately I clear everything up. Let me just put it again back. As I mentioned, uh, this is a daily chart just for you to see that's hovering around the 61.8 Fibonacci level. MACD increasing, actually falling further below zero. RSI in a constant decline. If I connect the picks, you can see that it keeps moving lower and lower and lower. And this goes in line with the fundamentals. The more the tightening, the more the hedging against inflation, the more the stronger the dollar gets, the weaker the gold gets, and this so a decisive confirmed break below a 1900. Where is 1900? And actually 1900s and this area 1900s and the 200 exponential day moving average, so a decisive break below it, the closure below it will open the doors to, as I said earlier, 1860, to be precise, it is 1860, come on Andrea, 1860, 1830, or even the bottom of the year down to 1805, was it 1805 level? But only if we have a decisive break and a move below 200 exponential day moving average in the 1900s territory. Is this course designed for beginners? No, it's a live analysis. So at least you should be an intermediate, at least to understand some of all this that we mentioned from fundamentals and the technicals as well. So guys, if there are no further questions, I will call it a day because we are already an hour and a half live. Dollar is the strongest currency right now, along with yen. Yen and dollar are the strongest currencies so far. Okay, yen not against dollar, against all the other majors, by the way. Okay, yen is weak against dollar. Remember what we said earlier about a breach and break of already breach and broken the 14440. So attention is moving further to the upside and to the area that to the resistances that I have just mentioned. I mentioned earlier the 144.70 level, 53 and 77 territory are the next resistance area for yen. So dollar and yen are the strongest currencies. Yen, the strongest, I guess all the main other majors, not dollar though. Dollar is strong against every other cross such as euro, yen, CAD, Swiss, pound, Aussie, Kiwi, and Kiwi and Aussie. In general, the commodity related assets such as pound, Aussie, and Kiwi are the weakest currencies right now, so far today, to be more precise. Yeah, so I will call it a day if you have no further questions. Anyway, the live will stay in all our social media. Will stay in all our social media. So drag and drop your arrow and find the asset that you want to check again that I have spoke about earlier. Clement, it's just a sharp decline. So the next support, it's already broken all the supports of the day. As low it got as low as 126.30. This is the 1 hour chart, by the way. You can see that MACDs keep moving lower, stochastic the same, RSI keeps falling even though it's already in the oversold territory. Moving average I keep pointing lower. So there is a lot of selling pressure for cable. So the next support level is down to the, here we are.
Just here.
So here, latest fractal 125.96, and actually, so it's 126 and 125.90 area. That's the next area, support area for cable. Okay, very massive, aggressive, technical selling. Okay, I'm gonna call it a day. Have a great day ahead. Take care. For any further comments from Sintra. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow, Marco will host an Instagram live session so you can ask anything you want. It will be solely in Instagram, okay? Solely in Instagram. So join us join Marco in an Instagram question and answer session tomorrow, and we'll try to help you as much as we can. Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead. See you again tomorrow. Bye bye.